Hi, I'm Makayla Shank. I'm a recent Penn State graduate. Today, I will tell you about the CTL Scholars Program and how it impacted me and my fellow scholars as Penn State students and beyond. CTL Scholars is a Students as Partners program created to promote students as co-researchers through collaborative projects related to teaching and learning. This program is significant to the field because it is among the first SAP programs to be offered to students of small, diverse, underrepresented campuses. In addition to its contributions to the field, CTL Scholars has also been significant to the lives of students whose futures have been influenced by the opportunity to be a leader in research. Undergraduate research is an opportunity often limited to students of large privatized universities. At our campus, research opportunities are not very abundant. Many of the programs offered do not have a heavy emphasis on research. Therefore, many students are missing out on the newest advances in higher education. In its first year being implemented at our schools, CTL Scholars gave 6 students the opportunity to develop their research skills, gain confidence in their abilities, and work alongside faculty members as equal partners. From this program so far, 5 papers have been published, 14 presentations have been given at conferences, and our scholars are still producing more research that will be completed in the upcoming months. From our first days in the program, we saw that this was much more than following a perfectly paved road to learning the fundamentals of research. We realized that we were part of something much bigger. It was time for us to show the exceptional work that can come from diverse campuses by making our own dirt roads. We were in the driver's seat of our studies. On the right, we have an aerial view of our entire campus. We are among the smallest of Penn State's 24 campuses. With a 10-to-1 student faculty ratio, we are the ideal campus size for students who prefer a student centered approach to learning. Mostly everyone commutes from surrounding areas, so we do not have dorms or a lively college town. To give you a little more background on our school, we should share some details about the diversity of our student population. Our campus has about 700 students, with the average class size being 25 students. Of those students, a considerable number are non-traditional students. These are returning students, veterans, part-time students with families and careers. We also have a high transfer rate. Our campus is a stepping stone for engineering students before transferring to our parent campus. Including the engineering majors, our baccalaureate campus offers 10 four-year degree programs. The location of our school also contributes to the significance of a program like CTL Scholars. The campus is located in a rural area surrounded by blue-collar towns and farmland. For many students in our towns, they were the first in their family to go to college. Because of these factors, the campuses often lack inclusivity, have limited opportunity, and have insufficient resources, especially pertaining to research. 6 students from various majors were recommended by faculty members as excellent candidates for the program. Students were expected to work alongside a faculty member as an equal partner to improve a course. Typically, students were previously enrolled in the course taught by the faculty member. One student was placed with their faculty partner, who they had never had as a professor. Considering each experiment would be specific to a course, teaching style, and disciplinary, there was no set procedure for the partners to follow through the program. The freedom and flexibility of the program offered a realistic approach to the research process, which rarely follows a straightforward path. The program was designed to be completed in 2 semesters. The first semester was used for partners to collect data through whichever method they had chosen for their study. While some partners relied heavily on observation, others found weekly surveys to be the best feedback method. Some pairs used multiple methods of data collection to get a more comprehensive response from the class. The second semester was to be used for analyzing data, writing papers, and submitting for publication. At the conclusion of the program, students were asked to volunteer for an interview where they would discuss their time in the program. 60-minute recorded interviews were conducted via Zoom. Students were asked questions about their motivation to join the program, their expectations, relationship with faculty partners, and recommendations. The questions were written to be used as a guide for someone interested in starting their own SAP program. Interviews were then audio machine transcribed and coded 3 times. Each round of coding was used to identify common themes between students and isolate individual experiences that were exclusive to each partnership. From the coding, we found 4 main themes. The ambition and enthusiasm of our student partners is seen in their motivation to join the program. A common expectation for this program was that it would provide the preparation for grad school many students deeply express wanting. Students attributed this program with creating a sense of comfort that they have the skills to be strong competitors entering their fields. When developing CTL scholars, it was essential for the program to be representative and encouraging for everyone on a diverse campus. A strength of the program is that it is inclusive of all students and benefits those who do not plan to continue on to grad school. A student who does not plan to do future research explained that they joined the program because they never get selected for anything, and this program would be a substantial addition to their resume. Another student saw the program as an experience that their constantly evolving profession would benefit from. They stated how important it is for others entering the medical engineering program in the future to have a background in research to aid in the transition from college to hands on learning in the field. A major roadblock in the expansion of SAP programs is the reception of these programs at different types of universities. As previously stated, students in the program expressed concern that they would have never had research experience because of limitations within their programs. Many programs at our campus do not require a research methods class as part of course requirements, leaving many students wondering if they have an undiscovered interest in research. A student partner who was inclined to learn about research explained that they felt limited by the lack of guidance and resources available to them and other students who wanted to do research outside of their course requirements. Another barrier to inclusivity in research is non traditional students feeling that they do not fit the mold of a researcher. Our non traditional students frequently feel excluded, though their post education experience could be an asset to research, especially when paired with a faculty member who is still involved in the education system. Another theme that emerged from our interviews were students becoming adept learners and gained new perceptions of teaching through working closely with a faculty member for the first time. For our study, we define metacognition as a state of being aware of how one learns, what helps one learn, and what learning means to the individual so that those acquired skills can then be used to aid others in reaching their metacognition. The nature of this program encouraged students to try new learning strategies and practice methods that they did not use in previous academic projects. For some students, metacognition presented itself in the form of retaking the class and noticing patterns that they disliked or did not find effective in their learning. The psychology student who was placed with an engineering professor described using multiple learning techniques throughout the program. Having insufficient knowledge and experience in the university's engineering program compelled the student to begin their learning journey with the experience that other students in the program had organically. The student attended the engineering class and became an active learner in order to understand the role of being a student enrolled in the introductory class. After gaining an understanding of class mechanisms and the professor's teaching style, the student began collecting data by using skills learned in a past research methods class. The student integrated techniques for building trust with participants and creating surveys into their CTL scholar study. Another student was also able to integrate knowledge from previous experiences into their research, but their experiences were not strictly from academics. Their faculty partner included the student in additional projects outside of the CTL scholars' research. Through these lessons and experiences in unfamiliar fields, the student made networking connections with professionals and learned skills that enriched their technology focused courses. For a majority of students who participated in CTL Scholars, this was their introduction to research and the many forms in which data can be presented. A computer science major described themselves as a binary thinker who prefers to see answers in ones and zeros. Their study relied heavily on observing student mannerisms and adjusting the professor's teaching style accordingly. The nature of qualitative research forced the student to overcome cognitive dissonance and view their study's results abstractly. By taking part in this program, the student learned that research can have a humanistic element and broaden their skills beyond quantitative research. For many of the student partners, this program was the first time they got to see a faculty member as someone beyond the lecturer. One student was surprised at the lengths in which their faculty partner would go to prepare for each class. The faculty would find current articles from news sources that could supplement students' learning beyond the classroom. The student gained an appreciation for how the professor used current news to keep the lectures interesting for the class. This effort was noticed by the student, who said that the professor's passion drove their academic work. One faculty member and their student partner had an impressionable moment that could bring SAP programs to other universities. The faculty member included their student partner in a lunch outing with other colleagues. This gesture is monumental for lessening the divide between students and faculty. After seeing a respected colleague participate in this program and have positive outcomes, the faculty from other universities may consider working on a project with the student. The student being seated with professionals also signifies that their faculty partner truly embraced the student as an equal to not only them, but to other educators. A medical engineering major began the program hesitantly as the partners had clashing personalities. The outspoken student worried that they would not be an ideal partner to their subdued professor. They quickly became one of the strongest partnerships in the whole program through a moment of vulnerability. In the beginning of the program, the faculty came to their student partner, flustered, upset, and asking for advice about something that went wrong in a class. The student supported their faculty partner and described what they would have wanted as a student in that class. The next week, the faculty member implemented the advice and the problem was resolved. An unlikely partnership between a psychology major and an engineering professor suggested that SAP programs can be effective cross disciplinary. While our other partners were familiar with each other through interactions in class, these partners began as strangers. Though from two different fields, the partners found that their strengths were complementary and could create a far reaching study. The student explained that their relationship was defined by the moment that the professor handed them complete control of the study, showing that the faculty member trusted the student as a co researcher. An indicator of this program's achievements and the success of individual studies can be described with the student quotes found at the end of the slideshow. In addition to these quotes, some faculty members chose to extend the program beyond its conclusion by continuing to work with students in their future research projects. Implications of the CTL Scholars Program include students gaining confidence in their abilities, becoming abstract thinkers capable of integration, and navigating the process of establishing equitable partnerships with faculty members. In addition, students found their faculty partners renegotiating their positionality as educators and incorporating student perspectives in future research. Our study suggests that the core beliefs and the goals of a university can be maintained while rethinking the conventional boundaries between scholars, students, and faculty. The bottom right photo is from our orientation. There's not many of us. By the end of the week, you know everyone who you will sit next to in class for the next 4 years. When we look at this photo, we see that every one of these students has the potential to create an innovative study, but very few of them will be given the opportunity to experience research in their undergraduate education. We want to make programs like CTL Scholars a possibility for every aspiring researcher.